Being a videographer, it would have been really easy for me to just kind of grab all of the stuff that I already own to start making content, but I do want to make this channel also informative for anyone that's trying to start their own content creation journey and is looking for kind of what gear should you even get. And so with that being said, I went out, I did my research, and I decided on all of the things that I would get if I was going to start over my content creation journey. So full disclaimer, I am currently a Canon shooter. So right now I'm using the Canon R5 Mark II. And if you know anything about this camera, it's not cheap. It's about $4,000 right now, and that's on sale. And the lens that I use in my R5 Mark II is also not cheap. So it's actually this guy right here, which is the RF 24-105 2.8. And so this lens is also about another $4,000 or so. And so that whole setup, I'm gonna try to keep that really to just me using it for paid work and or if I need to do B-roll shots of the camera that I'm currently using. So with that out of the way, I ended up picking up the Canon R50V. So it might seem like I have a little bit of a bias towards Canon, which I kind of do, but I have used the Sony a7S III and FX3, the FX30, the a7 IV, and the a7R3. I've not really played with any Nikons. The last time I used a Nikon was an old DSLR, and as far as Fuji goes, I played with some Fuji stuff. It's really nice, it's really small and compact, but not really for me. This kind of came out at a perfect time. So this camera by itself with no lens comes in at $650. With the kit lens, which is a 14-30 power zoom, I think is a little bit over $900. So depending on where you live, that price could change here or there, and kind of whatever sales or rebates Canon's running right now, or at whatever time you're watching this video. This whole combo, if you get the kit lens with it, could be more or less about $1,000. So as someone who is already into cameras and videography, photography, that kind of stuff, I did have a couple requirements for myself as far as what camera I would be using for content creating. And one of the more important things for me was being able to shoot in a log profile. And so that's one of the reasons why I really liked the Canon R50V. So with this little guy, it gives you C-Log3, which in a lot of cameras, from Canon at least, you don't really get the ability to shoot on C-Log3 until you spend kind of $1,000 or more on just the body. So the fact that you can get this that has that capability for $650 was kind of a crazy deal for me. So as far as lenses go, you could easily get the kit lens and kind of just call it a day. But I did pick up 2 different lenses with this just to make sure I kind of covered all of my bases and kind of made sure that the lens wasn't a handicap for me as far as shooting in low light situations. With that being said, you don't have to buy both of these lenses. I would recommend one or the other depending on the kind of content that you want to start doing. So the first lens that I picked up for this camera, which is kind of my do-it-all lens, it could do some vlog style content. Granted, it wouldn't be the greatest, but it would definitely be really good for getting kind of all of my stuff from behind the camera and kind of getting like cinematic shots. And that is the Sigma 18-50 f2.8. So this lens also comes in at $650, which, you know, if you put that package together, you're a little bit over $1,000, but you're still not spending as much as like an R6 Mark II. So on the wide end at 18 millimeters, this is about 28 or 29 focal length, which is, you know, you could do some vlog style content. Granted, it's going to be kind of close up to you, but on the long end at 50, this is closer to an 80 mil, which is really good for some portraiture, or if you want to get some cinematic shots, maybe the subject that you want to film or take pictures of isn't super close to you. So that 80 millimeter reach is going to be really nice. And the second lens that I picked up for this is more of the lens for someone who is trying to do some more talking head stuff. Maybe you want to do some wide shots of like environment or interior, or maybe you want to do some vlogging. So I'm actually using this lens right now on the R5 Mark II because that 24 isn't really wide enough for me, but it's the Tamron 11-20 f2.8. So Sigma does make a 10-18, which is kind of the companion lens to this guy right here. But that lens comes in at about $720, $730 at the time of recording. And the Tamron 11-20 comes in at also $650. So depending on which route you wanted to go, as far as if you wanted to be more behind the camera, you get the Sigma 18-50. If you wanted to be in front of the camera, maybe do some talking head, vlogging, you know, again, some more wide shot video or pictures, the Tamron 11-20 is a great option. So an 11 on this is, I think, about I want to say a 16 mil, something around those lines. And so this is 11 and this is the 20. So 20 is still pretty good. I would just have to be a little bit, here we go. Where is it? Yeah, 20 is still pretty decent. I would just have to be a little bit farther back for you to be able to like get the whole thing in frame. And I think a 20 is about 32 mil, something around that. But yeah, this lens really good for the price, especially if you want to do some more talking head or vlogging style content. A good video is nothing without good audio, and so I picked out two things that would help to make sure that the quality of my video and my audio matched and, you know, actually made something good. The first option that I picked out is the Rode VideoMic Go II. As you can see, mine's a little beat up. It has some cat hair on it right here, but I have two cats. Yeah, this is just a simple little plug and play shotgun microphone that just goes right into the hot shoe of your camera and slides on there. You tighten this guy down, plug it in, and you're good to go. And what's nice about these is brand new, they're about $100, but you can find them on like Facebook Marketplace or eBay, OfferUp, something like that, like used for anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks. So really good option. With that being said, if you want to do something that's a little bit more wireless maybe, and you wanted something that you don't have to have like live on your camera, maybe you want it to be all the way back there and you still wanted to have some good clear audio, I actually didn't buy what I would recommend, but I do have the more upgraded version of it already, so I'm just kind of using it as a placeholder. But I would recommend the DJI Mic Mini. So right here I have the DJI Mic IIs. So I actually have two of these, which is kind of insane. But the DJI Mic Mini is essentially just the little brother version of the DJI Mic IIs. And so you just plug this guy into your hot shoe or cold shoe on your camera, plug in your auxiliary cable, and then one of these transmitters here just clips onto your shirt like this, or onto a hat or something, and you're good to go. And the Mic Minis come in, if you want just one transmitter and one receiver, they come in at about $89 right now, which is a really good deal for what it offers. And if you wanted to step it up and get the combo with two transmitters, I think it's about 120 bucks. I could be wrong. I'll put it somewhere here. But yeah, so either of those options really good for if you just want to do some wireless audio. So I do understand if you are a little bit hesitant about spending some money on a camera and microphones and all of that stuff. So the obvious answer would also just be use your phone. iPhones have great quality, especially if you have one of the newer ones, and all you need for that is like a selfie stick pretty much, and then audio, you could get away with it. It's pretty decent, but I would still recommend grabbing something like Mic Mini just to make sure that your audio is a little bit cleaner. There are definitely other options out there as far as lenses, camera bodies, microphones, and all of that stuff. This is just the stuff that I wanted to get for myself as a beginner content creator. So this is just part one of kind of the equipment and gear that I'm using for starting off this content creation journey. I'm gonna do another video of kind of like carrying solutions, little accessories here and there that like I think are necessities or just something that could be really, really helpful, especially if you're just starting out. So with all of that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys at the next one. Peace. Oh man, talking to a camera is really hard, especially if you don't have like a script or something. Like, I had a whole script for this written out. I did a whole video for it, recorded it and everything, and I just didn't like it, so scrapped that whole thing and kind of just running and gunning with this one. But yeah, talking to a camera is, it's a lot.